Шановні народні депутати України, до слова запрошується президент Парламентської асамблеї ОБСЄ пан Пере Joan Pons Sampietro. Прошу привітати.
Honorable Chairman Stefanchuk, esteemed members of the Verkhovna Rada, let me begin first by expressing my sincere gratitude to Chairman Stefanchuk, dear Ruslan, and to Secretary General Vyacheslav Stuchny for the generous invitation to visit Ukraine and to speak before the Verkhovna Rada. And I'm not alone, and I would like to introduce my colleague from Slovenia, Lucia Tacer, a woman MP, a young woman MP, the Secretary General, and two members of our staff, Irina from Ukraine and Francesco from Italy. So we are all together here to support you. This is my second visit since the beginning of Putin aggression against Ukraine, my second one. And let me today begin not only as a president of the OSCE, but also as a politician and a Spanish parliamentarian. 236 Ukrainians have found shelter under the Temporary Protection Directive in my country. 326 people have been granted residence in my country. Because in moments of hardship, we open our doors. We stand together. 4,000 Ukrainian children are attending school in Spain. They live, learn, and grow in safety, while your nation continues to defend itself with courage and dignity. That's why, first and foremost, I want to honor with all my heart every Ukrainian soul touched by this relentless tide of aggression since 2014. The courage born from pain lights a path for us toward justice, toward peace, and toward the shared hope that no darkness can ever extinguish. Together, we stand united, committing to building a future where freedom and dignity are the birthright of every human being. And united more than ever, because under the Spanish presidency of the Council of the European Union, Ukraine's path toward EU membership officially began. This year, Spain marks 40 years of membership in the European Union. That membership brought us stability, growth, and progress. The same will be true for Ukraine, exactly the same. And ladies and gentlemen, Europe stands with you. Last week's Copenhagen summit made that clear. There is a European political community standing beside you all. Security is now at the heart of all regional policies. Europeans are concerned, and they know that your fight is our fight. As president of an assembly representing hundreds of parliamentarians and more than 55 participating states, I stay with confidence. We are united in this fight because your fight is our fight. You defend universal values we all hold dear. You stand against an aggressor who shows no respect for those values, nor for international law, nor for the Geneva Conventions, nor for democracy. Our democracy is first and foremost defended in Donetsk, in Mariupol, in Luhansk, in Zaporizhzhia. If you fail, we will fail. And our assembly is a platform, a huge political megaphone for your struggle. We use the tools we have: unity, principle, dialogue. We fight with the strength of our arguments, not with the arguments of force. You are politicians. You are politicians, as I am. And you know our greatest strength lies not in the power, but in the principle. In principle, we bring your voice and your voice to each of our parliaments. A huge megaphone, a huge platform for your cause. Those principles place us, all of us, on the right side of history, because you, the people of Ukraine, have shown the world that Putin will not win this war, that democracy remains the most powerful antidote to tyranny, and your struggle is the struggle of all free people. Let me say this clearly. Russia's war against Ukraine is illegal, unprovoked, unjustified, and that is the language of our Assembly's declaration, adopted with overwhelming consensus. Since the beginning of my presidency, less than 100 days ago, I have delivered the same message. President Putin must stop the war. He must respect Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity, and any peace, if it's to be real, must be agreed with Ukraine, never imposed on Ukraine. Russia's aggression threatens more than your country. It threatens the stability of our international order. It undermines the principles that keep our region safe and our people free. And airspace violations in Poland, Romania, Estonia, Denmark, and Lithuania remind us all, this is not just Ukraine's war. It is all of ours. And as winter approaches, I remain deeply troubled by Russia's deliberate and systematic targeting of Ukraine's energy infrastructure. These actions are plunging millions into darkness and cold. Russia must understand the gravity of its conduct. Our declarations have consistently referenced, in accordance with the UN Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide from 1948, that Russians' act resemble genocide. We remember the cost of defending democracy. With great sorrow, I paid tribute to your former chairman, Anzi Parubi, whose life was taken in this war. His memory and courage will not be forgotten. And defending international law is not Ukraine's burden alone. It's our collective responsibility. Neglecting to invest in democracy inevitably comes at a cost. Russia has consequently lost its voting rights in our Assembly in accordance with our rules of procedure. Today, our voice is Ukraine's voice, and support goes beyond words. In 2023, we established the Parliamentary Support Team for Ukraine, a dedicated body consolidating our Assembly's work. Led by committed colleagues, including co-chair Mikita Poturayev, the team focuses on urgent issues like the abduction and deportation of Ukrainian children. Let me be clear. Taking children from their homes, forcing assimilation and abuse, it's not only a war crime, it's a moral emergency. Our 2025 Porto Declaration calls for coordinated international action to ensure the safe return. And I would like to announce today that I will propose that our Assembly formally joins the international coalition working to secure the return of Ukrainian children and ensure that Russia is held accountable. And we also recognize the war's profoundly gendered impact. Women in Ukraine have endured separation, trauma, and violence. They must be at the heart of Ukraine's recovery and future. Our Assembly commitment is not symbolic only, it's part of our daily work. And since my first day in office, Ukraine was my top priority. My very first phone call as president was with you, Chairman Stefanchuk, showing how central Ukraine is to our agenda. Despite war, restrictions and laws, your delegation, most of the members are present here today, led by Mikita Poturayev, shows relentless dedication, participating in every major debate. We are grateful for the outstanding collaboration with your mission in Vienna, led by Ambassador Yuri Vitrenko. And last month, I addressed the OSCE Permanent Council to remind states that investing in the OSCE is investing in democracy, in the future of our children, and when principles are under attack, we must defend them, clearly and firmly. Looking ahead, our Assembly remains fully committed to Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity, to justice and accountability for war crimes, and to supporting Ukraine's democratic European future. And our autumn meeting in Istanbul, I will reaffirm this commitment, and it would be an honor to welcome President Volodymyr Zelensky to address us there in Istanbul. And Chairman Stefanchuk, I warmly invite you to join us in Vienna in February 2027 for our winter meeting to deepen our parliamentary cooperation. I thank you for the invitation to the Crimea Platform Summit in Stockholm. I confirm my participation and will say clearly, Crimea is Ukraine. We demand the immediate release of the 3 OSCE officials unlawfully detained by Russia. Their detention violates international norms and affronts the OSCE. Our message will be taken to the OSCE Ministerial Council in Vienna this December, where we will again speak one voice, Ukraine's voice. Let me end with a memory and promise. In 1937, the Spanish town of Guernica was bombed, one of Europe's first large-scale attacks on civilians. President Zelensky, I was there on that day, evoked Guernica in the Spanish Parliament in 2022. I evoke it here because Guernica is not just a place, it's a warning and a promise. A warning of what happens when we stay silent, a promise that we will not look away. We will stand with those who choose freedom, here in Ukraine, but also in Gaza and everywhere. We will stand with those who defend dignity. We will stand with Ukraine. Slava Ukraini. Thank you.